how we got here and how I got that question on Instagram. And I was gonna respond to it in stories. I was really excited to do so, but then I was like, the response that I was gonna give wouldn't give it justice and what I wanted to do and how I wanted to answer the question. So here we are. We did a complete audible. This was not supposed to be the episode this week.
When adversity came, I could have fell apart, but I chose instead to follow my heart. When adversity comes, I will never run, I will adjust, adapt, and overcome. Vision.
Welcome back. Welcome one. Welcome all. Welcome to Everything Empowerment. I'm your host, Tariq Williams, and welcome back to the Speaker Vision Podcast. You know what it is, you know what we do. Not only I am Vision of Hope, but we are Vision of Hope, and we're going to get right into it today. In this episode, I guess I could go through the how we got here, okay? So the title of the episode, if I were to receive back 100% of my vision, would I then lose my purpose? So, how did we get here? Okay, excellent question. So, the other day on Instagram, I posted, hey, anybody has any questions for me? Go ahead and ask me the question. And we got questions all the way from what's the difference between a mindset coach and a therapist to what Hogwarts house are you a part of? Some people saying I'm Slytherin, some saying Gryffindor, some saying Hufflepuff. I even got some Ravenclaws as well. So leave in the comments. Actually, yeah, let's start here. I want you to leave in the comments for me while you're listening to this podcast episode. What Hogwarts house do you think I'm in? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious. Comments, reviews, 5-star rating, Spotify, Apple, you know what to do. And if you're ready to change, transform your life, and whatever that looks like for you, your authentic version of that, down below, get the free guide how to win every day. Because yes, that is possible. The free guide will show you how to do that. So get the free guide. Let's have that conversation. Let's make it happen. Vision. Oh, we're not over yet. But, anyways, so if I were to receive back 100% of my vision, would I then no longer have my purpose? Would I lose my purpose? So I told you all how we got here and how I got that question on Instagram, and I was going to respond to it in stories. I was really excited to do so, but then I was like, the response that I was going to give wouldn't give it justice and what I wanted to do and how I wanted to answer the question. So here we are. We did a complete audible. This was not supposed to be the episode this week, but here we are. So I told you all last week, I want to tell you all more stories. So if I want to do that, then I have to actually do that. If I really want to do it, then I have to actually do it, right? Because if I didn't really want to do it, then I wouldn't do it. So here we are. I'm going to tell you all a story. So I live in Arizona. Okay. What brought me to Arizona was was a job as an orientation mobility instructor at a center for blind people called Savvy Services for the Blind. And I start there to really have you start to paint the picture of it's going to come full circle, so bear with me. So I moved here for this particular job. For those of you who know, I'm originally from Pennsylvania, born in New Jersey. Family from Trinidad and Tobago. Shout out Trinidad and Tobago. Hey. But anyways, so got my master's degree in Louisiana, and then I came out to Arizona for my job. Now, specifically the job as orientation and mobility instructor. So when you move to a new place, you want to work on building community. You want to work on making friends, getting out, just doing some different things, right? And I didn't know exactly what that looked like, but one of my coworkers found out that I really liked basketball. And so I'm a really big basketball person. Okay. Really big basketball person. And so what happens is there was the Phoenix Mercury, and the Phoenix Mercury had a game in Phoenix, and he got tickets. And so a few coworkers, we all went to this game. Okay. So we get to the game, and ultimately accessibility for blind people, accessibility, I was going to say accessibility for blind people, but accessibility in general, no matter the disability or the person, etc., accessibility is very important. All right. So we get to the game, and I'm like, okay, when you go, so fun fact for people, as a blind person, when you are going to, let's say, a movie theater, right? There's an opportunity. What they do is to get audio description. So you can go to the front desk of the movie theater and get the audio described headphones. Not as nice as the headphones that I'm wearing right now, but nonetheless, you can get headphones at the movie theater so that you can actually hear what's happening on the screen is being audio described in the headphones, so you're not missing a beat. So it's a really neat accessible way for blind people to be able to enjoy a movie. And that's always when I go to the movie theater, I always get it, and I really enjoy it because it really gives me that insight on what's happening on the screen. Now, when you go to a basketball game, it's supposed to be similar. What happens is you can go to customer service, and what they will do is you can go to customer service, and you'll get a radio type device that will allow you to listen to the game's radio cast. And obviously, if you're listening on the radio, well, nobody is seeing the game through the radio. You are relying on the announcers, the play-by-play and the color commentator. That's some journalism vocabulary for you. The play-by-play and the color commentator. The play-by-play gives you the play-by-play of the game, obviously, and the color commentator, someone that gives you more insight on what's happening in the game and analyzing the game a bit more directly. Besides the point. So, what happens is you're able to get that opportunity. Now, we went to the customer service, and unfortunately, they weren't able to. They For some reason they didn't have the headsets, which was unfortunate. My coworker friend Reggie, he actually we sat next to each other, and he gave me the play by play, which is he was great. Reggie, if you're listening, maybe that's what you should be doing for a career because it was fantastic. Um, but I'm at this with a few of my coworkers, and I tell you all that story to paint the picture a bit of where I was and what was happening throughout this day, so you can fully understand my perspective and just where my mindset was that day. Okay. Now, this story actually, once again, is more about painting the picture because it has nothing to do with accessibility. See, after the game, we were walking to the parking lot, and really neat game. Phoenix Mercury, it was great. Diana Taurasi, great player. Thoughts and prayers for Brittany Griner and what she's been going through. But as at the end of the game, we're walking towards the parking lot, and one of my coworkers, so it was her and I, and we're walking back to the parking lot, and she asks me a question, and the question that she asked me was not the title of the video, but the question that she asked me was, Tariq, so why is orientation and mobility your passion? And I paused because not because I didn't know the answer to the question. I didn't want to come off as rude. I felt so certain about the answer, but I paused, took a deep breath, and I gave a direct response. And I said to her, orientation mobility is not my passion. And I could tell that she was taken aback when I gave her that answer. But I didn't stop there. I said, orientation and mobility is not my passion. Empowerment is my passion. Orientation and mobility is just how I'm doing it right now. But ultimately, my life is all about empowerment and empowering other individuals. So, I, when I was in college, I used to work at a summer camp for blind people, and I had the opportunity to be a mentor, to help teach different classes and everything like that. And I saw a need. I saw a need. There weren't always a lot of different blind role models out there, not a lot of different blind orientation and mobility instructors out there. And I wanted to be that example. But it still never changed for me. The reason why I was interested in blindness and orientation and mobility at the time was all about empowerment. Now, once again, getting back to how I got here and answering that question, orientation mobility is not my passion. Empowerment and empowering is my passion. And for as long as I can remember, it's always been that way. So, getting to the question at hand, if I received 100% of my vision back, would I then lose my purpose and no longer have my purpose? The question to that is absolutely not. See, the thing is, my blindness does not define me as a person and who I am and the things that I do. Now, my blindness has helped shape the person who I am, but we all have different situations, adventures, experiences that assist in shaping the individual that we've become. See, the experience of losing my vision and becoming blind, that's my experience. That's my truth. You can't take that away from me. And for 100% sure, you're not going to take away the lessons that I learned from losing my vision. You can't take that away from me. Therefore, my purpose, blind or not, is empowerment. My purpose, whatever the case may be, is black, white, whatever. At the end of the day, I'm me. And so my purpose to deliver value, to deliver empowerment to people in different shapes and different types, and whatever that may look like. My blindness is just one characteristic. See, you're not about to box me in. And I know this wasn't what this individual was trying to do, but now I'm gonna get a little hype. See, you're not about to box me in because of one trait. Okay. I know that's not what that person was attempting to do. And it was a really good question. And that's why we're here on this podcast today. But you listening have a lot of different traits about the person who you are, your race, identity, gender, favorite color, favorite sport, major in college, not going to college, occupation, etc., etc. You got there somehow, some way. I don't know how you got there, but however you got there, nobody can take that away from you. So I got here one way. So, and granted, there was a lot of different ways that I could, how should I say? There was a lot of different ways that I could take this question and expand in different ways, but I wanted to stick to the question at hand. And if you have other questions about my blindness, please. And I have no problem answering them. I encourage the questions. If you got a question, not only do you let me know in the comments what Hogwarts house you think I am, but also lost my train of thought. Also, let me know if you have any questions about my blindness or anything like that. I know that this is a place for empowerment and my coaching, and I talk about podcast and mindset concepts and everything like that. But I have no problem talking about my story. And you can see in a bunch of different episodes where I talk about who I am as an individual. A lot of experiences have shaped who I am. Blindness is one of them, and there's so many others. If it's the people in my lives, if it's the mentors in my life, if it's the people who have, wronged me in different ways, who knows, right? Ultimately, my purpose is mine. And no one experience, no one person is going to take that away from me because it's my purpose. See, when we start giving power to different situations to possibly take away your purpose and our purpose, we're giving them too much power. Or what's happening here is you're evolving your purpose to recognize more of the person who you are because we're learning about who we are as an individual every day. So, getting back to the question once again, if I were to regain 100% of my vision, would I lose my purpose? The answer is no. My purpose is empowerment then, my purpose is empowerment now, and my purpose is empowerment after. Tomorrow, the next day, the day after that. Once again, this is your place for everything empowerment. I am your host, Tariq Williams. Be free to check out the free guide, How to Win Every Day. $40 for hoodies. If you're interested in getting a hoodie, direct message me. We'll get you set up. And let's get connected. Let's have the conversation. Let's be empowered to be the person that we were all meant to be. Because we're not chasing dreams here. Our dreams are waiting for us to put in the work to get to where we want to be. So ultimately, take this away from this episode. Let's get in touch with each other, but take this away. Be empowered to get to that dream. And once again, I know this is a serious episode, but I took that question very seriously. Thank you for the question. Talk to me if you guys have any questions. I would love to answer them. And remember, not only I am Vision of Hope, but we are Vision of Hope. Let's get it. Vision.
When adversity came, I could have fell apart, but I chose instead to follow my heart. When adversity comes, I will never run. I will adjust, adapt, and overcome. Vision.